Being a mechanic in Project Zomboid is a useful skill to have in your survivor's arsenal. Having the ability to upkeep and repair your favorite vehicles in the game can ensure that your survivor won't be having any issues when driving away from those nasty hordes. Grinding this skill allows you to have increased success rates when swapping your vehicle's parts out with donor vehicles that you encounter. As you level up, you will be able to salvage engine parts from nicer vehicles. At level 4, you can get salvage from standard vehicles. At level 5, you can get salvage from heavy-duty vehicles. And at level 6, you can get salvage from sports vehicles. As you increase the mechanics level, you also have an increased effectiveness when swapping parts in your vehicles, so consider switching out the more vital parts such as the engine when you have higher levels in mechanics.
Grinding mechanics in Project Zomboid does require some setup, however, but once you have the right equipment, materials, and starting skills, you should have no problems easily leveling up this skill. To start off, when building your character, it's important to consider how quickly you would like to grind mechanics. Choosing the mechanic occupation gives you a permanent 150% increase in gaining XP for that skill. It also gives you 3 skill points towards mechanics as well. And if that wasn't enough, your character also doesn't need any of the mechanic magazines to get started with grinding. Keep in mind, having a character with high strength and the organized trait is recommended, as you will be hauling heavy items and carrying lots of equipment around when grinding this skill. Another thing that should be mentioned is that metalworking also ties into mechanics, as you are allowed to repair outer parts of the vehicle and even dismantle wrecked cars. When you get into the game, you need to gather some supplies. Try to find all of these items, which are commonly found in garages, storage closets, and especially auto mechanic shops. When getting ready to grind, make sure you loot up mechanic books and mechanic VHSs. Read and watch them before performing any actions, as this greatly increases the XP gain you obtain when changing parts out. Once you do this, it's time to start obtaining sacrificial vehicles you don't mind ruining. The more the better. Once you've gathered everything and cleared up that horde you had nearby, it's time to finally begin grinding. Interact with the front of your vehicle and begin to uninstall and reinstall as many parts as you can one time each. Both actions give you XP, so don't worry if you accidentally fail when installing parts. Once you do this for every car, you must wait 24 hours to do it again, which is why it's helpful to have as many spare cars as possible to speed up the process. In no time, you begin to see that your character gains more confidence in repairing and replacing vital parts such as engines, and in just moments, you'll get that sweet hot rod driving like never before. Just be sure to pay attention when behind the wheel.
Now that you know how and why you should grind mechanics, check out these other videos about how to survive in the zombie apocalypse.